today we are talking about credit scores. I know, dun dun dun. This is something I've wanted to talk to you guys about for a while. It's also something that's super important that you understand how it works, how your credit score is calculated, and how you can raise your credit score, because you need a credit score for things like buying a car or purchasing a house. So we're gonna go over all of that today. It's going to be an in-depth video with tons of information. Hopefully it will really help you guys out. So let's get started. Guys, before we get started, I have two things that we need to talk about. The first one is I need to make a disclaimer to let everyone know out there that I am not a professional financial advisor. All the stuff I'm going to tell you guys about today is information you can get online. It's easily accessible, but I've also had a lot of things taught to me by my husband, who has been in the mortgage field and real estate field for 11 years now. And since he's always dealing with people's credit scores and helping them raise their credit scores so they can afford to buy houses or qualify to purchase houses. And the second thing is, this is kind of like a part 2 video. If you haven't seen my getting out of debt video, I will link you guys to it at the end of the video, but you might want to watch it first. So right now I'm going to link you guys to it in the iCard, which is up here. And I need you guys to click on that and watch the getting out of debt video first, and then watch this video, because I think this video will make more sense if you've already watched that video. First of all, I want to make sure that we are talking about how a credit score is even calculated, because most Americans do not understand how credit scores are calculated. So let's talk about that first, and then we'll talk about things that you can do to help raise your credit score, because I know a lot of you guys are probably watching this video because you want to raise your credit scores. So I'm going to pull up a little graph for you guys, because I think that will help you guys understand exactly why some parts of your credit are way more important than others. So 35% of your credit score is actually based on payment history. So you guys can see why it's so important to make sure that you make all of your payments on time, because that's a huge chunk and the biggest chunk of your credit score. The second huge chunk you're gonna see in our little chart is all about outstanding balances. So if you have credit cards that are maxed out or carry high amounts on them, this can look really bad to the credit bureaus and your chance of repaying them. And that's why your credit score can go down. And that is also why paying your credit card balances off in full every single month is such an important step. We'll go over that step in a minute, but I wanted you guys to make sure you understood how the credit's actually calculated before we go into steps to fix your credit score. 15% of your credit score is based on the length of your credit history, and also a reason why you might not want to close your credit cards that have zero balances on them. We'll talk about that in just a second. 10% of your credit score is based on new credit, and 10% of your credit score is based on types of credit. So how many accounts you have, what types of credit lines you have open, things like that. So now you guys have an idea of how your credit score is actually calculated. Let's talk about ways to improve your credit score or keep your credit score high. First of all, and the number one thing that every single one of you guys needs to do is get a copy of your credit report, okay? There are a few different places you guys can do this for completely free. Please do not pay for your credit score, because there are a lot of websites that will give it to you for free, and websites that won't even make you put in a credit card. So there are a few different sites that I recommend for that, maybe like Credit Sesame or Credit Karma. I will link you guys to that below in the YouTube description so you guys can do that. Only do this once, okay? You don't want to pull your credit a bunch of times from more than one of these links. You just want to do it one time. These are considered soft pulls, which basically means that it's a quick pull for you to check your credit score. It's not going to ding your credit score unless you've pulled your credit score already in the last 6 months, or you keep pulling it over and over again, and then it could possibly damage your credit score for good. But to do a soft pull once a year, it's not a big deal. So you want to check that first, because most of you guys probably don't know what your credit score is, I would guess. You might have an idea, but you don't know exactly what your credit score is. So number one, head below to the YouTube description below, click on the link that I've given you. I will link you guys to the best place that will be completely free for you and will not make you put in a credit card. Okay, there's a few reasons why you want to do this. Obviously, you want to know your credit score, right? But you also want to make sure that there's nothing wrong on your credit score. A few years ago, we actually had something reported by the IRS that was completely false, and it actually ruined our credit score by 50 points. You guys, that is huge. If we wouldn't have seen that, we definitely would have had a hard time qualifying for the house we were about to purchase. So luckily we saw that in time that we could get that fixed. But things like that happen all the time. There's always mistakes. So if you're able to pull your credit score, there might be mistakes that you could easily fix that would instantly change your credit score. Now let's talk about credit card usage, okay? This is something I mentioned a little bit earlier, but you wanna make sure that you pay off your credit cards in full every single month. Now, if you're still in debt, this goes back to the video I just told you about a little bit ago. You need to go and watch the how to get out of debt video. Our family personally got out of debt. We had $30,000 worth of debt. And we've been debt-free for years and years. I wanna say we've been debt-free for like 5 years. It is hard, I'm not gonna lie, but now the way that we work things is we put everything on our credit card. And we use a credit card that gets us really high points for travel because our family loves to travel. So choose the perfect credit card for you if you are out of debt, and find one that's gonna give you really high cash back, that's gonna give you amazing travel rewards or other rewards that you are really excited about. And then make sure that you pay off your credit card in full every single month. Now remember, 35% is your payment history. So you have to make sure that you pay off your credit card in full every single month to not only help the 30%, which is your amounts owed, and your 35% with your payment history. Just paying off your credit card in full every single month will seriously boost your credit score. Now, if you already have credit cards that are not paid off, you might not be ready for this video because I personally would not recommend you guys using any credit cards right now if you're in debt. Get out of debt first. You don't want to be putting more debt onto your credit cards because you want to get everything paid off so your credit score can start building again, okay? So again, I know I've said this before, but I want to reiterate, go watch my getting out of debt video so you guys can get out of debt, and then come back and watch this one so you guys will know what to do as soon as you do get out of debt. I know a lot of people just pay the minimum amount due on their credit cards, but this is a kind of a big no-no. First of all, never ever put anything on your credit card that you can't pay off in full unless it's like a crazy emergency and you need that money, right? That would be the only circumstances that our family would probably feel comfortable doing that. But if you pay off only the minimum amount, then you're paying interest on anything that you purchased, and it's a cumulative interest, you guys. It's not a one-time interest, it's interest that keeps building and building on that amount. And interest is one of the things that makes most people go into debt because it's not the amount that they put on the card that they couldn't handle, it was all the interest that's been adding up over the years. So make sure that you pay your credit card off in full and never put anything on your credit card that you can't pay off in full. For our family, we actually put everything on our credit card, leave our checking money alone, and then at the end of the month, we pay off our credit card in full with the money from our checking account. That way we're building rewards for travel, which our family loves to do, and our credit is still staying high because we're not just paying the minimum balance, we're paying it off in full, and we're paying it on time. Remember, if you guys paid late, sometimes credit cards have huge FD fees, and then you're paying fees and you're paying interest, and it's just getting crazy. You don't wanna get sucked into that credit card trap. If you guys are gonna pay off your credit cards in full, and you're just starting that process, it's best for you to do that before the credit bureaus report for the month. The credit bureau will see that your debt ratio is low, it will see that you paid it on time, and it will see that you paid it off, so guess what happens to your credit score? It totally goes up. Once you're out of debt, you're gonna be super tempted to cancel your cards after you've paid them off. Now, I'm gonna say don't do this 99% of the time, because remember, if we go back to our chart, your length of credit history is worth 15% of your credit score. So sometimes people will be like, I'm so excited, I got out of debt, let's close that credit card. And then all of the credit history they've had on that credit card is gone, and their credit score drops. And they're like, oh my gosh, what happened? I got out of debt. I don't understand why my credit score dropped. Well, that's why. You just lost 15% of your credit score because you closed that card. Now, the only reason why you might want to consider closing a card is because of an annual fee. So if you have a card that has a high annual fees, some cards have $495 of annual fees. If you don't want to pay those anymore, then that would be a reason why you might want to consider closing your card. Just know that it might ding your credit, it might drop it for a little bit, but if you keep continuing to build credit on other credit history lines, you should be totally fine. Another thing that gets super tricky, okay, this is for after you've actually paid off your credit card. You're gonna be like, I paid off that credit card, I'm never gonna charge anything on it ever again. Well, that's also a big no-no too, right? Because the credit bureau wants to see that you're using the credit card and that you're paying it off on time, because it shows that you're responsible, shows that you're able to handle your money, right? So if you have a credit card that has $10,000 on it and you never ever use it, the balance is zero, it doesn't help your credit score. So I would recommend every once in a while charging something on that card and paying it off immediately. Remember, we want to pay it off so we don't get interest and we don't get any late fees. Then it shows the credit bureau, hey, they used their credit card, they paid it off on time. Awesome, they're doing great, let's raise their credit score. So let me tell you what we've done with one of our cards. We do have one credit card that literally only has one thing auto-charged every single month, and it's our gym membership. It's a small charge, it's not a big deal, but every month that automatically comes out. So that way we're still building our credit history with that credit line on that credit card, because we didn't want to lose that credit history line because we weren't ever using it. So it is a little bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but I know our credit is benefiting because we've done that over and over again every single month. Okay, and before we end this video, I wanna make sure that you guys know what the credit score ranges are, because you might not even know. And it's kind of important to know where you stand. So when you do go and pull your credit score, remember the links for that are below in the YouTube description. I will link you to the best ones. Then you'll know where you stand and if your credit's good, bad, or just awful, okay? And just remember, guys, no matter where you're at on the scale, you can totally change your credit score. We have had bad credit before, okay? I don't want you guys to think we've had just amazing credit all the time. We have had bad credit. We have had months where we are like negative in our checking account. We've had all that before, and I couldn't live like that anymore, which is why we busted our butts to get out of debt. We worked super, super hard, and why we totally do money different now. Another thing you guys might want to watch if you're brand new to my channel is how we budget. We do not use the envelope method. We do not use anything else. We use checking and savings accounts. It's all digital. I believe we have like 9 or 10 checking accounts right now, and we do everything digitally. It works so good. You guys have commented it and said it works amazing too for your family. It's way easier for us to handle. So if you guys have not seen that, that might really help you guys organize your money so you have money to pay off your credit cards, and you guys can get out of debt, and you guys can raise your credit scores. So 850 is the highest credit score you can have. It is virtually perfect. Anything from 750 to 850 is considered excellent credit. This is the range that you guys want to be, so be somewhere in there. Being in the excellent range guarantees that you get the lowest rates when you purchase a house. It gives you the best rates when you purchase a car or any other time that you're getting credit. It's also great for you to have really amazing credit when you open up a credit line, if you guys are going to open up a credit card or something like that, because you're gonna get the lowest interest rates on those as well. Not that it really matters, because if you're paying off your credit card in full every month, you won't have interest to deal with anyway, but I'm just saying. 750 to 640 is good to fair credit, and 640 on your credit score and below is considered bad credit. If you guys are already out of debt, you probably only need to tweak a few things by doing some of these tips I shared for raising your credit score. If you're still in debt, work on that, get that taken care of, and then you can do some of these things to help you raise your credit score as well. If you're in debt right now, one of the things you guys can do to make sure that your credit score stays healthy is to actually pay off all your credit cards on time. Do not let yourself get any late fees or added interest on any of those cards, and you'll be able to pay off your debt a ton faster. I know you guys all have amazing success stories with getting out of debt and raising your credit score, so please comment below if that is you, so everyone else has some motivation and some hope that they can totally do it too. Share it below in the comment section so other families can read that and use your tips, or even just get motivated knowing that it's possible. You guys might look at me and think, oh, she did it great, but who else has done it too? It'd be great to have you guys say, hey guys, I worked this hard and we finally got out of debt, or we did this, and this, we worked really hard and we raised our credit score. So I'm not the only success story out there, because I know that I'm not the only success story out there. And if you're brand new to my channel, please subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of the Melea Show family, and give this video a like if it helped you at all. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye guys.